Let's go for slightly more advanced scenarios. The intermediate ones. Oh goody. Fragility. I'm familiar with the concept. Chaos cannon, so fragile. Yes, I need to destroy the gun bots. Because I need to destroy them all in one go. But I can overflow the excess damage to this Chaos cannon. Destroy this Chaos cannon, leaving only 3 opponents. The Steel Spirit goes down, I destroy the gun bot. But my stuff is still up. And now the Gauss cannons cannot possibly destroy my Steel Spirit. As much as they may want to. They simply cannot destroy it in one go, and you have to destroy that sort of thing in one go, because it regenerates. So of course destroy the non-fragile things first in that sort of situation. You can overflow damage to them if you have any left. That's nice, but if you're in a situation where you cannot destroy the non-fragile things, you're ultimately screwed. 10 Gauss cannons can easily defeat 10 Steel Splitters, but 1 Steel Splitter can defeat 2 Gauss cannons. Interesting how that works out. Because they have to defeat him at once, and they cannot. Yeah, I'm not thinking as much as I should, but oh well. Let's just get 2 conduits at the very start. And get no more, since I get ample resources anyway, to be able to build whatever the hell my heart desires. Let's get 2 Gauss cannons. And a single Asteri cannon. That way I have 5, I turn 5. Might as well build a barrier, even though nothing is going to attack me. Oh my goodness, the barriers are temporary. And prompt. Emergency blocking. Alright. Now I destroy it and win. Got it. Stockpiling. The earlier you get this stuff, the more of it you can keep. You just get a conduit as early as possible and keep holding resources. Oh my goodness, what a feral warden. It's prompt, has 3 health, but it's fragile. Mixed type 2, green and red. Biological, but it has all those green crystals. Aegis. A fragile blocker again. I think the green things are mostly fragile. It's possible to win that will transform by all the attackers at once. Of course it is. After all, you stockpile this stuff. Alright, Gaussite game. You don't need 4 conduits to build a Gauss fabricator. The Gauss fabricator probably costs 4 Gaussite, doesn't it? Yes, yes it does, of course. Based on the idea of stockpiling we acquainted ourselves with. There's a Gauss cannon, a standard issue unit. An Isochronos, the hell does this do? Has a build time, is fragile. Alright, gives you 2 attack, but becomes exhausted. Fair enough. A surge in attack power. Fragile, yes. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. And construct a Gauss charge. which explodes. And it explodes automatically. The interesting part is this also gives you +1 attack on its own. You can just spend its health to attack some more. It's a Gauss fabricator. It constructs Gauss cannons by itself. Let's get a conduit because I want those resources flowing as quickly as possible. I'm going for an aggressive opening. Let's start us up with... I could go for an isochronous into a drone. Let's do that. It'll take a while for this thing to be active, but when it is, I'll be able to blast through quite a few things. Let's construct another conduit and another drone to get those resources. This isn't clearly an aggressive opening. Oh, it's not even clickable, it automatically does that, so it automatically attacks every 3 turns. Let's get the Tantalum Ray, fine. We're going for aggressive plays apparently. We're not strictly overrunning, we're just destroying both the engineers. Can't pick any targets here. But our opponent is limited on drones. Even though he still has more drones than we do. So let's try and get ahead on drones. And attack with the Tantalum Ray. It's not like he can retaliate. Ooh, that attacks next turn. Fair enough. It's building so many conduits. Let's keep on firing. Let's build a Gauss fabricator. It's going to construct 8 Gauss cannons. That's ridiculous. Meanwhile, let us wreak havoc upon the enemy's economy. My engineers are going to die. That's bad news. Fine, I'll live. Let's get some more engineers. I think our drone line is about to get raided. Actually, it's on cooldown. I don't need to attack it immediately. Gauss cannons are powering up. They have a lot of health though, even though they are fragile. Nope, our drones did not get raided. The Tantalum Ray did. Our enemy has 5 attack, but that's okay, I guess. Let's build 2 more drones. Another isochronous. And raid the economy. My engineers will soak up the damage. Yeah, let's build engineers for soaking. Kill the enemy engineers. We've lost some drones, but that's nothing in comparison to the losses sustained by my opponent. A tantalum ray, and an additional engineer. These are still building. Let's destroy a single Isochronus and 2 drones. Another tantalum ray, another engineer. Let's just get rid of... actually, it's on cooldown. Let's destroy all the enemy drones. Another tantalum ray. We're losing drones like crazy, but that's moderately okay. Let's get some more engineers soon enough. No resources for our opponent, which means a slow death. Drone, drone, conduit, conduit, drone, drone, Gauss fabricator. Interesting. No, seriously, quite interesting. You get those drones, start up your economy, you get the conduit so they can start pumping out Gaussium as quickly as possible, and then you get even more drones for more gold. Next turn you have enough gold to build a Gauss fabricator. Brilliant. Fragility and defense, yes. This might be interesting. Alright. Yes, they cannot absorb damage. They can't dissipate it. Once they take it, they've taken it, and that's it. I'm just going to kill Talseers here. They're all the same to me. Silly little damage monkeys. The general idea here is to keep that wall alive for as long as I can. Any damage I assign to these, there's no benefit to destroying the wall. I might as well just distribute the damage among the Aegises. But I guess this will come in handy eventually. Yes. I do this, then dissipate on the wall. Destroying the wall would have been pointless. I'm supposed to dissipate on it if I can, depending on the modulus of the operation. Oh my. And then the remainder gets absorbed by the wall. That's reasonable. Destroy Talseers. Aegis absorbed by the wall. Destroy Talseers. Destroy the Aegis. Destroy Talseers. I know I'm going to get breached. Destroy these tiles here, so there's only one left. 1 damage gets dealt to this, but it regenerates, so I'm fine. Destroy the final tiles here and win. Because only the wall can absorb, exactly. But I get the concept. It's difficult to put it in words briefly. But I get the concept, I understand how it works. You have fragile things, and then you have things that dissipate damage at the end of the turn, things that regenerate. And you have to split damage between them smartly to assign the final bits of damage to those things that regenerate. And use up the hit points of those structures that do not, wisely. A wall. And nothing. A wall. And nothing. A wall. Maybe a single engineer? We'll see. Can't be bothered to add it up right now. The wall is of course prompt. Yes, I can afford a single engineer on top of that. So last turn, let's build another engineer. Have 2 of them. A wall. 4 false fields. The river drone has survived. A Zemora Voidbringer. Is that a Zemora Voidbringer, or is it Zemora Voidbringer? 6 turns. It's fragile. Oh my goodness. You give it green, and it gives you money in exchange, also 8 attack. That's awesome. You don't even have to damage it. Yeah. It's also extremely cheap. It's only 5 gold, 3 green. What's the downside? The build time is the only downside. It's a long-term investment, but a damn good one. After 6 turns, well, if they don't manage to destroy it, they're screwed. Now, of course, this is a money sink. If ultimately spending those resources, as few as it is, and not getting anything out of it for that window of time. A doomed drone. It's cheaper than a regular drone. It dies after 4 turns, but it can give you gold. You can also use it as a blocker. You probably should use it as a blocker. Since it's doomed anyway, it's gonna die. Guess that's the plan. And if you don't plan on having them be alive any longer, you might as well use them in such a fashion. They ultimately pay for themselves, and then they block. Interesting. So they're mostly blockers. Yeah, Gaslight is mostly used to build false fields later on. As you desperately try to defend. Gossite game. Defense. I'm learning. A is for animals, B is for blast forge, C is for conduit. Clearly. So your primary sources are your ABCs. Drones and engineers are your Ds and Es. Steel splitter and walls are available. As is the Asteri cannon. My beloved tantalum ray. Obviously the gas cannons and false fields. Let's start with drones. Go for conduits. Do I need 2 conduits? I probably don't need 2 conduits. Actually, let's go with 2 conduits. I can get the tantalum ray pretty much instantly. Get a single conduit. Tantalum ray it is. More drones. Spend the health. Get more attack. Now I could build some forces fields soon enough, but for now, let's get a drone and another tantalum ray. Blast into bits. Here's a force field. Yeah, let's be relentless, why not? Another tantalum ray. Another drone. And the replacement engineer. Let's get a single force field. Drone up a tiny bit. Get one more engineer? Fair enough. Fair enough. Free attack. Oh boy. Fine, let's spawn a force field. Spending a drone. One engineer will die, but I'm moderately okay with that, I guess. Let's get another conduit, because I want those resources. And on top of that, another tantalum ray. Yeah, why not? Also more drones. Gauss charge gets destroyed, lowering the enemy's damage output. Another tantalum ray. Single force field to only lose a single engineer. Let's drone up a tiny bit. Yeah, my economy is booming, and since I'm destroying all those Gauss charges, I'm absolutely fine. Another tantalum ray. I want the asteric cannon, but I'll need more conduits. Simple enough, let's get another conduit. And another drone. That wall will just soak up all this stuff. Let's get a force field. Now tantalum array. O2. How about a blast forge? I could use those. Another engineer. I'll need to replenish them. Well, fair enough. The enemy's economy is in shambles. Let's get a wall that will be able to dissipate all that damage very nicely. Another tantalum ray. I do love those. And an engineer, just in case. Actually, no. Not getting the engineer will allow me to get an asterisk cannon. Finally. So many desperate false fields. Dissipate here. Blam, blam, blam. Let's get an asterisk cannon. And that's it. Not even overrunning, unfortunately. But my opponent no longer has any drones. Actually, I don't need to do that. The wall will dissipate all the damage I could possibly decide to dissipate. Let's get another tantalum ray. O2. And wreak havoc upon the enemy's infrastructure. Yep, walls are quite useful. Survive until the start of the 10th turn. Optional, keep all conduits and blast forges alive too. Let's do that. Yep. Force fields are nice. But the general idea is they should keep them alive for as long as you possibly can. Alright, fine. Let's destroy one to get a false field, and then go engineer a false field wall, dissipate on the wall as much as I can. I cannot build drones. I can build walls. But if I cannot build drones, I might as well defend with the engineers. Since that's their only purpose right here. My conduit serves no purpose whatsoever. It gives me those resources, they'll never be... No, sorry, it does serve a purpose. I can spend... Gaussite and false fields. What a scenario. Absorb wall, absorb. I don't need a false field. Absorb wall, absorb. Oh boy. I just spent engineers this time. Not a wall. Oh boy. Let's see now. Wait, hold on, I've made a mistake, as far as I can see. Let's go down engineer. No, that was not a mistake. That's 7 damage. So I need to be able to soak 5 on the final turn. Well, fair enough, I will be able to. There we go. Boy, that was depressing. High tech. I am not familiar with high tech units. What do we have? Conduits and blast forges, so no red. No replicas. False fields can be built as can be Gauss cannons. The basic green units. A Gauss fabricator is an option. Walls and steel splitters, the standard stuff. As well as Omega Splitters and Xeno Guardians. That's an interesting concept. Alright, Xeno Guardians. They're mostly defensive units. They have full health that regenerates. They are somewhat cheap. They're definitely better than walls. A wall costs you 5 gold and then a single blue. These guys have an additional cost of single green, single blue, but also give you 1 attack each turn. And have 1 more health. Absolutely worth it. Alright. Perhaps I should start with an aggressive opening. Like drone. Let's get a conduit. As aggressive as it gets. And immediately build a Gauss cannon. And another Gauss cannon. Late game? I don't think so. Gauss cannon. Raid the enemy's economy, which is far ahead of me for obvious reasons. A wall. It's bad news. But I've set myself upon this path, and I kinda lack alternatives. Or do I? I could try to drone up desperately at this point. Let's build 2 drones. See where this goes. Kills an engineer. The enemy won't be able to drone up all too easily. Let's get a Gauss cannon and a single drone. That kills the engineer. Gauss cannon drone. Single steel splitter on the enemy side. I can soak that with an engineer, but that's not gonna last, now is it? Let's get 2 drones. And a blast forge, I'm going to need those walls. Single wall. Extremely helpful. Let's build an initial Gauss cannon. Actually, let's drone up a tiny bit. Puts me ahead of my opponent, and let's build another conduit to get those resources going. I want those Gauss cannons. Let's build a Gauss fabricator, the only one I can build. And let's create a single force field to dissipate the damage. Fine, another wall, another engineer, and a drone. Maybe a second engineer as well. That Xeno Guardian is absorbing like hell. Oh boy. Build that wall and a blast forge. Also a drone. All of this will get destroyed. Let's get a force field. And let's get Xeno Guardians of our own. Also force fields, because otherwise we'll get breached. They should get rid of some of the enemy's offensive power, but not all of it. Not a Xeno Guardian. Still ahead on drones. Which is good news. Let's build 2 more. And let's see how he dissipates. Wouldn't want to lose my Xeno Guardian, but we shall see. Yes, he survives. Let's build 2 walls. And more drones. Fine, sacrifice the engineer. I'll get some more of them. Let's get 2 walls. No, let's get a single force field. And instead invest in Steel Spitter. Why does he know Guardian's better? And a Gauss Cannon. Gauss Cannons are good. Finally overrunning. Took me a while. 2 more Steel Splitters. And investing in force fields. The enemy's drone count is extremely low, so I'm ahead on economy. Can assign a single point of damage, and it'll be a drone! No engineers, but he doesn't have any either. Let's get a single engineer of my own. But with this attack that I have, I'm going to overrun him heavily. Actually, let's leave him to attack, so I can dissipate on a single wall. And then raid his drone line. And now I've crippled him to such an extent that he no longer has resource gathering capacity, nor any troops. Just structures that need clearing up. Done. It's like a wall in a tall seal. Yeah, he's awesome. Extreme rush defense. The final intermediate scenario. Your opponent has built an animus on the first turn and is planning to rush you with Talsiers. Good to know. I know I'm getting rushed. So what do? I use walls to defend and then counterattack, obviously. So he's going for an extremely aggressive opening. This just occurred to me, yes. Red-based builds are extremely aggressive because you get 2 animus out of this thing. It's the cheapest one. It's 3 per advanced resource. Blue is more defense oriented because you get those wonderful walls, whereas green is somewhat ambivalent as far as its orientation is concerned. It's flexible and yet fragile. I think I'll go with a blast forge to get those walls. Let's do this. I know I'm getting breached. The walls will hold. Let's attack with the steel spitters. I'm building up an economy behind all. Oh, let's go. My drone. His rhino will not break through my wall. Another wall and another wall. He's got 3 attacks. Wall supplies. 1 engineer anticipating on a wall. Here's the way we go. No, that was an attack. Alright, fine. I just don't. As for me, with my superior economy, have as many of them as I would have expected. I'm going to get some Talsiers and engineers to replenish the ones I will lose. The pressure is piling up. But so far, my economic advantage. He's running out of Talsiers and Rhinos, that's good news. It's just about starting to shine. I'm about to get breached though. I probably should get a wall. Bad news is I'm running out of life. Yes, a wall engineer and a steel spur. Seems reasonable. How will he dissipate? Probably losing his engineers. Maybe an engineer rhino makes more sense. He doesn't really have sufficient defense. Also, his rhinos can no longer attack at all. He does these. He's going to sack drones, unsurprisingly. Thankfully, for now, I have more drones. Slightly more, but still more. I'm going to get breached, but that's okay. Let's build a wall and get an animus alongside a drone. Now let's attack with the steel splitter. No counterattack damage is pretty sweet. Why did I not attack with the steel splitter? I cannot believe this! I failed all too many times. Alright, I'm at 8 drones, he's at 7. That gives me an advantage for now. Let's get the 9th drone. That's about as many as I'll have, I guess. Let's not get a wall, let's get a steel splitter. It can dissipate damage, but it can also, you know, attack. Let's get a drone. Because I kinda can. Fine, a single engineer dying is okay with me for now. Steel spur is not prompt. But I'll live. Not a drone. Another steel splitter, leaving 1 for defense, and 1 is going to attack. Let's get another blast forge. Let's get a single wall. And another steel splitter. Attack with 2. He's going to lose his engineers, isn't he? Well, no, 1 engineer dissipate on the rhino, fair enough. Get a wall. Or rather, 2 walls. Attack with these guys. And then let's get an engineer, just for defensive purposes. 3 points of attack. You didn't lose that engineer for now. Fair enough, fair enough. I did not have to not attack with the steel splitter. Because the damage that lowered his attack potential. But you know, better safe than sorry, I guess. Let's build a wall and a steel splitter. And attack with all steel splitters. The walls will soak up the damage, I'll sacrifice a single engineer. For 1 wall to survive. One wall will survive, attacking with all the steel splitters. And now he's sacrificing rhinos to protect his Tarsiers. Classic. Fine, I lose 2 walls. Let's go with a blast forge. Can I actually afford as much in a single turn? Kinda running out of walls. 2 walls and a steel splitter on defense. And let's get some engineers for future defense. Killing rhinos. Yeah, running out of walls. More engineers for defense. And the wall absorbs. Awesome. I've ran out of walls. Let's build some engineers for soaking. Is he running low on rhinos? Yes! He's out of rhinos, thankfully. Time to strike back is now. It's mostly sacrificing drones now. Talk about aggression. Once again, I'm out of walls. Alright, let's get some damage on steel splitters, I guess. It's not like I have alternatives. Let's get an animus and 2 engineers for further soaking. No, I'm overrunning in the sense that I'm destroying all the drones. He's essentially destroying all my defenders at that point. So it like this and dissipate on the final steel splitter, I guess. He's out of rhinos. It's absolutely good news. He still can build more Talsiers, and my goodness, the Talsiers of my enemy are beginning to annoy me heavily. Let's finally destroy his stuff. To some extent. I'll be losing units here, but he's out of luck. His economy is in shambles. All he has are essentially the Talsiers that have been harassing me the entire game. And what few units he can scrounge up as blockers. That's it. Oh goodness, finally getting through these defenses, although extremely slowly. Two points of damage, a drone and a rhino soaking. There we go. Rhino, rhino. Good news, everyone. Defenses have been cleared up. And while my engineers and rhinos will die, well, aside from one rhino which will survive, thankfully, I can now raid his Talsier line. Finally! Took me a while to get there, but I got there eventually. Yeah, I know. And that's the final intermediate scenario complete. I get the Xeno Guardian, with which I am intimately acquainted by this point, and Frostbite. Of course, it's a red unit. There's a build time, so you have to wait a bit. You chill? Units can't block if their chill equals or exceeds their health. Ooh. Interesting. So only the most powerful of units can survive Frostbite. Hold on, do you apply chill to... You don't apply chill to a particular unit, it seems. You apply chill to your opponent, so none of his units... No, hold on. Units can't block if the chill equals... Oh, right. Yes, of course. So, a unit with 3 health or less will be unable to do anything. Only units with a lot of health will be able to block. Very interesting mechanically. Now, you do sacrifice this little bad boy, but he's cheap as hell. Building a turn 1 Animus is a losing... Oh goodness. Okay, fine. Turn 1 Animus isn't the way to go. But it can work in rare situations. Yeah, turn 1 Animus is not the way to go. It's extremely aggressive, but as you can clearly see, it can be beaten. The moment you see someone's playing turn 1 Animus to get those Tarsiers and Rhinos, you know what to do. You go blue. As far as the base set is concerned, anyway, and you then build those steel splitters and possibly walls. That's all the intermediate scenarios.